This has been extremely controversial in your country. You want to reverse the ban on oil and gas exploration.
Yes.
Where are you on that?
Yes, so in our legislature, a piece of legislation is wending its way through the select committee processes and the various stages of legislative activity. It should be passed into law by the end of this year, and that will enable our indigenous gas industry to be further investigated, explored, prospected, and even converted into a reliable source of fuel. And we are also getting some work done as to whether the pros and cons stack up in terms of the importation of LNG. Now, these are not matters that lack controversy, but in the transition, we cannot rely purely on the intermittency of solar or wind. So we need what's known as essentially a contingency fuel.
Right.
But you're correct to identify it has been an issue that's excited a bunch of stakeholders in New Zealand. Our government, which is a centre-right disposition, feel that we need to be pragmatic and avoid anything that leads to deindustrialisation, because one of our great legacies is food production, but food production is manufacturing. Manufacturing is industrial processing, and we need to ensure we've got the necessary sources of energy for heating and industrial process GDP purposes.
Minister, is it guaranteed, though, that even if you are successful, if the ban is overturned, is it going to yield natural gas in quantities that will provide grid stability in the longer term? And the other issue here is mitigation is a big a big issue that's come up here and come up in constant dialogues. Do you have the plan in place, whether it's carbon capture sequestration, to mitigate the impact of fossil fuels?
Yeah, the geologists tell us that we have gas in New Zealand. The known gas reserves have been depleted, as you avert to. We are putting in place a regime to capture and store as a way of dealing with the negative externalities of further gas exploration. We also are not pretending that it will not be difficult. It will be difficult to re-engage with the big end of town in terms of people who are prepared to bring rigs down to New Zealand. After all, we're at the end of the railway track. Although we have the indigenous resource, I'm not underestimating the importance of selling our country as a destination, which partly explains why I'm here at this energy get-together.